Pickleball Innovators Podcast, which shines a spotlight on the movers and shakers in the fast-growing pickleball club industry. Today, we're joined by Mike Wilmot, the Chief Growth Officer at Boston Pickle Club. Michael and his team have been building out a 6-event, year-long super regional tournament series called NETS, the New England Tournament Series, that's grown 25 to 30% with every single leg. The series boasts 11 divisions, a dozen local corporate partners, DUPR-rated competition, refs on the floor, and a number of other strategies that keep players engaged. In this conversation, Michael breaks down how Boston Pickle Club built NETS from the ground up, the grassroots marketing strategy that's outperforming paid channels, how tournaments function as a member acquisition tool, and what other operators should know before launching a series of their own. Let's dive in.
Anyway, as you send those things across, which are, again, also so helpful and just provide great context for us, as particularly being as young as we are, we've had a really successful approach to our super regional tournament that we're doing, and thought just might be interesting for you.
Yeah.
As something to share, because I know from talking to folks, particularly out at the summit, how everyone approaches it differently, particularly tournaments. And I think part of it, what we're doing, is driven by the fact that we're in a relatively undeveloped market. So there isn't a lot around, at least we feel there isn't a lot around that's to the scope and scale of what we offer.
Set the stage for me.
Yeah, so it's called the New England Tournament Series, which is, the acronym is NETS. And it's a 6-event, year-long super regional tournament series. So it runs every other month. Our first one was in September. So we've had 3 already, 3 legs, September, November, and we just had our January one weekend before last. And basically the way it works, last one we had 11 different divisions running across 3 days, Friday night, all day Saturday, and half of Sunday. And you're not only battling for wins in your division in the tournament, but it's also then points across the overall series across the 6 events, which is really more focused on the money divisions. We have a money ball division. We also have an open division that have money attached to the prizes there, just as a way to get some of the better players in. But we did a split age for the first time on Friday night, which was super successful and interesting. We had a much more robust women's divisions on Saturday, and then we do mixed doubles, and we do a 55 plus division on Sunday. Each one that we do, it grows and grows. And we had about 225 players in our last one. So over the 3 we've done, we're growing by 25, 30% every time, which I think we're really excited about, because it's generally people that can drive there. We got a couple folks coming from Connecticut, New York City area that might stay overnight, but generally it's within 30 miles of Boston that are coming in. But it's a great member acquisition strategy for us, for people that haven't been to the club before, because they're seeing it full and they're seeing it well run and they're having fun. So that's the background of it. A couple of things we do that are unique. We worked with a third party helping us with our tournaments at the beginning, but we do this whole series all with in-house resources. Everything's done by our pros and our staff, from planning and administering the brackets on the day of and they all play in the tournament too. So it's a lot of action going on, to all the on-site activation we do. We work with probably a dozen local corporate partners to have food, drink, gear sales. We have a free stretch and massage place there. Everybody that walks in and plays gets a free Lululemon gift bag that has premiums and like promotional items in it. Wow. And we also have refs. We'll bring in 2 refs that'll only do the medal round in the finals, but particularly for some of the lower level divisions, none of them have played with refs before. It's a really cool way for them to experience what we would say real competitive pickleball. But I think it gives people a sense that it's just a more official type of event, which again, there aren't a lot of around here. So all those things I think add up to a really unique on-site experience, which for us, we're trying to get everybody to come back and then some. And then that may also include joining the club as well. And our corporate partners really like it, because they have this busy all-day event where people have idle time between matches or whatever, where they can hang out and they can talk to them about what they might have at their table or have a drink or do whatever. It's an easy thing for us to sell, because we know we're going to have a captive audience of pickleball players there for them to market to.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to grow that as well. And then the other part of it is the way we market it. The first couple, we really leaned on a lot of paid channels to drive awareness and registrations, and decided this time to do no paid, except for what we do with pickleball brackets, which comes with the territory with those guys, and do it all with referred to as more ground up marketing and trying to find key influencers across all the different groups, particularly the better players, which are a more fickle bunch that sort of move around based on where their players and their people are playing, and get them to, one, understand that it's around, and two, try to motivate them, whether it's through incentives, a free registration or whatever, to bring their groups into play. And then we also do a free sign up early registration bonus right out of the gate. We actually start doing it at the previous tournament. We put a QR code in the bag, and we try to get a critical mass of people signed up in the first 2 weeks. Like we're in it right now, trying to get people to sign up for the next one, even though it's not till late March, when people are sniffing around pickleball brackets and they see that this tournament has 50 people already.
Yeah.
They look at it because they're like, okay, what's going on here? It'll definitely be big enough for me. I'll be able to find good competition and all that. And it worked really well with this January one. Not that we were investing millions of dollars in marketing, but it seemed to be more grassroots approach to the marketing of the tournament, which we love because we've been around long enough to know who those people are, so that we can reach out to them, whether they're at the club or whether we meet them through someone else, and just say, hey, we're doing this, sign up in the next 10 days. You get $20 off. If you can bring us 10 people, we'll give you a free registration, whatever it may be. And it's worked great.
Herding mentality.
Yeah, completely. And we're looking to get maybe above 250 for March, which would then spill into both of our clubs. We could do the tournament at both Hyde Park and Norwell, which could actually be cool, just because you'd have two sites going. They're only 12 miles away from each other, so you could probably cross-pollinate if you needed to. So anyway, it's a little success story that we have that I think could have some relevance to people, where they're trying to just get a big crowd from a larger geographic area. And we do have competition. Sure, there are other tournaments that are out there, but we're trying to get this stake in the ground because there's 6 of them, and not just once a quarter or a summer and a fall or whatever. It's a regular thing that we want people to be aware of and know that the next one is in 8 weeks from the one they just played in.
Yeah. Are you finding that you have a lot of repeat customers who want to participate?
Funny, not as many as we would have thought, which is both a challenge and an opportunity, because we're getting all these new people in. People are busy, and it's hard because we try to find weekends when we know there aren't competitive options out there. People are skiing, or they're going to the beach, or they're doing whatever they do. A lot of times it just comes down to people having other stuff on their plate. But we absolutely focus our marketing first and foremost on the people who came last. And it's, make sure you sign up again. If you didn't last time, get the early sign up bonus. And if they're there and they had a group with them or around them, we'll try to motivate them in the same way. It's a little more labor intensive for the staff, but I think the ROI in it is fantastic because you're having face-to-face conversations, which is, I think, part of our model too. It's like we want people to associate the club not only with the courts and the amenities, but with the people. So it's the GMs, it's the marketing folks, it's the pros. All of them are focused on it at the same time, particularly right now where we're trying to get this critical mass of early registrants signed up.
What advice would you give to other operators who are looking to maybe start doing a tournament series?
Yeah, I would say that really pays off to understand and identify who like the tournament players would be and use them as ambassadors for the tournament itself. Not only in getting people aware of and registering for it, but even when you're there, maybe giving them a role to do something on site or featuring them in content that we may shoot and push out after. I think that's, we felt, is probably the biggest success. I think beyond that, it's making sure that because there's a lot of idle time when you're at a tournament like that, making sure that the experience they have off the court while they're there is as good as it can be. And a lot of times I think you're probably limited just by the space and the furnishings and just physically what you may or may not have there. We have a lot of, by design, open and social space in our Norwell club that is just jammed full of people, but also with tables and food and drink and other stuff. The idle times go by faster. And I think you leave with a smile on your face because you got a free pizza or have a gift bag that you're walking out with. And I think that goes a long way when they're choosing between registering for this tournament or that tournament to come back to ours.
Yeah.
Because we feel really good about the on-court experience and the brackets and the levels of competition. That's only going to get better as more and more people sign up. So it's what are you surrounding it with that helps.
How are you guys doing the matchups? Is it DUPR?
Yep. Oh, yeah, I didn't mention that. It's all DUPR.
Okay.
Yep. It's all DUPR. The open and Moneyball obviously is not, and the split age is not either. But everything else is DUPR, which also, frankly, is a great selling point for us because, again, as an underdeveloped market, there are tons of people out there with underdeveloped DUPRs who don't know how to get their DUPR up. And we're like, you guys, you're going to have 6 guaranteed matches against people at your level that if you pick your partner, you can make a massive jump in your DUPR or at least get it to a point where it's more reliable. Because a lot of people they don't understand the time and energy you have to invest in your DUPR to make it accurate enough so you can then feel confident about getting into other stuff. So that's definitely another selling point, particularly with the 3.5 and below, because a lot of those folks, either they don't have a DUPR or they don't have an accurate enough DUPR that they even feel confident about joining. We're like, that's all the reason to join, because you can play up. And even though you have a 2.7, you probably play it like a 3.4. So get a partner, get in the 3.5 and show them what you got. But that all has to happen like this. It's a one-to-one conversation. You can't send an email about it or put a flyer up. You got to have a discussion about it and get them over the hump so that they'll join. And then once they do, they're like, okay, I get it. And now my DUPR is closer to what I think it can be, and I'm going to get in the next one. I think our biggest division was the 3.5 to 4.0 had men's doubles, I think had 40 teams in it, which was great. And we have having 10 courts, we can handle that division fairly well without a lot of standing around or whatever. It actually ran through pretty quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then the refs, it seems like that has become a big differentiator for tournaments, is actually having refs.
I think you just get a feeling that you played in something a little bit more official. And it's definitely something we're going to lean in on going forward, because I think it's a nice point of difference. And it also takes some of the variability on calls out of the hands of the players. They call all the kitchen calls and the serve foot faults, and then will be a tiebreaker on any of the line calls beyond that. Defer to them.
Okay. I think that professionalization is really important. And like you said, a good player experience.
Yeah, I mean, for people, otherwise, I've played in one other tournament that had a ref in Arizona 2 years ago. And I think I got called over the course of the 3 games I played, maybe 6 or 7 times on foot faults, both serving and in the kitchen. And I ended up serving from the wrong side one time. And it's a different, and it got in my head. And I think now that it's there, I think you tune into the rules and how you play a little bit more. So ultimately you get better. But I think it's just still a new thing for a lot of people around here. Unless they've traveled for tournaments, it's just not a thing. So it's good that we're the ones that are at the front edge of it, because I think it aligns with our brand pretty well.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to share?
One other thing we do, we have cameras on a couple of our courts, and we try to put all of the finals on those courts to make sure that they're recorded and accessible for people to watch, just as a strategy for at least the high level stuff. If people want to go and actually watch some better players playing, that's always there and available too.
Good marketing.
Again, being in a place where there aren't a lot of options to see pickleball played at that level, the more we can get, whether they're coming to the club and watching or seeing it on video, it's a different game. When you're playing 5-0s or playing each other, the speed and the precision and the nuance of it is so different. And it's just great for people to see it. It's not all the dinks and drives that the rest of us are hitting. It's so much more than that. And it's like the stuff they may see on ESPN in their local club.